Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a resolution to my Defective Dior book tote drama from last year. I will link the video in the description below, but if you check it out, last April, so April of last year, so over a year at this point, I posted a video where I showed you up close the interior of one of my Dior book totes that was completely defective. It had oxidized glue staining all over the seams, and this was a bag that I used infrequently. You know, it was a little upsetting, but what made it worse was the back and forth that I had to go through to have this matter addressed. And apparently this is, at this point, I think a well-known issue with Dior, specifically with the Dior book totes. Fortunately, I do have a resolution to all of that, and it is in the form of a brand new Dior bag that I will be unboxing live. This is a true unboxing. I did not even take it out of the packaging. This is all still tied up from the store. I waited to unbox it just for you guys. And speaking of stains, this video is brought to you by Blueland. Blueland makes cleaning products that are effective, convenient, affordable, and sourced from clean ingredients. As the mother of 3 very active boys and now a very active 8-month-old German Shepherd puppy, one of my top priorities is keeping my home clean. And now that I'm getting older, I'm just so much more aware of what ingredients and what products I use. I love that Blueland is sustainable and conveniently delivers straight to my door. Over the years, I've realized how many single-use plastic bottles I'm throwing away and how much I'm spending on all those products. So I love that Blueland doesn't use any single-use plastics in any of their components, from their bottles to the tablets to the wrappers and even the shipping materials. Blueland products are effective, convenient, affordable, and sourced from clean ingredients, and Blueland is also EPA Safer Choice certified. Unlike traditional liquid cleaners that are sold in single-use plastics that inevitably have to be thrown out, with Blueland, all you need to clean your house or wash your hands is this nickel-sized tablet. With all the wasted plastic bottles from traditional cleaners, I usually end up paying about $5 to $6 for a bottle of cleaner or hand soap, but with Blueland, it's only $2.25 for a refill. They're so easy to use. All you have to do is fill your Forever bottle with warm to hot water and then drop one of the tablets into the water. After the tablet is fully dissolved, you just put the nozzle back on and it's ready to use in minutes without any shaking or stirring needed. I have the Clean Essentials kit, which features the multi-surface cleaner, the bathroom cleaner, glass and mirror cleaner, and the foaming hand soap. This is a great starter kit because, again, with 3 very active boys, they're constantly coming in and out of the house. We're always washing our hands, and it's just so convenient to have cleaners for specific purposes. I keep the foaming hand soap cleaner in the kitchen, so it's ready for everybody to use throughout the day. I keep the bathroom cleaner in the bathroom, the multi-surface cleaner in the kitchen, and the glass and mirror cleaner in the family room, and it makes cleaning so much easier. If you want to try Blueland, all you have to do is click my link below to get 15% off your first kit. The kits are already a great value and they never do these additional promos, so the extra 15% off is such a great deal. Blueland has made cleaning so much more easier and effective. They were even featured on the show Shark Tank, and they accepted an offer from one of the sharks, and they know what they're doing. So make sure you click my link and take advantage of the additional discount. Now, before I unbox my brand new replacement Dior bag, I just wanted to give you a quick kind of a rundown of the whole situation, just in case you didn't watch the video and you don't want to watch the video. I don't blame you. I don't want to deal with this issue either. But basically, I had a book tote. It wasn't this. This is the large book tote. I had the smaller version. The version I had was the white Tote with the navy blue animal print. So it was primarily white with some navy. I love that design. I still love the original navy Tote. Unfortunately, last year I noticed that the inside, and I only noticed this because I was filming my entire bag collection video. So I took out my Samorga bag organizer, which I always have inside the bag. It lives inside the bag. I took it out and I noticed that the inside of the bag, along the seams, was this yellow, ugly, oxidized glue. It was very obvious oxidized glue in a straight line all along the seams, along the bottom, and along the seams on the top. And then there was some staining, like glue staining, on the sides. To me, such an obvious defect. It warranted some kind of a solution by Dior, whether it was for Dior to repair the defect or replace the bag or refund the purchase amount. When I posted it on my Instagram, which, by the way, follow me on Instagram, it's a heated mess. I always post like deals and sales and stuff. But when I posted pictures of it on my Instagram, so many people messaged me that they had the same exact issue with their book tote, where it was ugly yellow along the sides, along the seams, and like at the top part here, like in the corners. Now, this one doesn't have it. I don't know if it's because it's a darker color, so it's not as obvious. the people who all messaged me all had the same toiletry design in either the white and blue or the gray and blue or pink, I think. The resolutions varied wildly. The store was so inconsistent, whether they were dealing with their in-store client advisor or like a random store manager, or if they had to deal with the repair process online. There was so much pushback from Dior, and it was like, why? You know, it was so obvious. So anyway, I go through my whole experience in my first video because my client advisor was amazing. Long story short, he really pulled through and he was able to just have me exchange it. And that is why I always stress the importance of establishing and maintaining a really nice and friendly and professional relationship with a specific client advisor, you know, at every luxury boutique, because unfortunately, he wasn't available when I first brought my book tote in. Someone else ended up helping me doing the intake. And it was so frustrating because she was basically so dismissive and almost like pointedly trying to make it seem as though it were my fault, as though I had spilled something, which is impossible to spill something in such a straight line along the bottom and a straight line along the seam. How do you spill something up and it only go in a straight line? It was such an obvious manufacturing defect. So, you know, I was like keeping my cool about it in the store, but it was almost like, why are you fighting this? In the first video, I mentioned how I worked at LV years ago and I used to do the repair intake. Like I would take in all these repairs and damages and, you know, deal with that process from clients. And at one point I had a customer come in who asked if her bag could be repaired or replaced or cleaned because her boyfriend had thrown up inside the bag. He was drunk at a party and he threw up in the bag. It was awful. Obviously that was their issue. Like they damaged the bag. He specifically damaged the bag. But in this case, and in across the board, where if you Google Dior book tote, you know, defect, glue, oxidized, staining, this is a manufacturing defect because it's happening to so many customers with the exact same style bag, unfortunately. So at every turn, it's almost like she was trying to fight me on, you know, even taking it in. She was like, oh, well, did you use this bag in the summer? Which, why should that matter? And then I made the mistake of saying that I bought it from Hawaii. And even though I didn't, I actually did buy it from Miami within the like time frame for repairs. And she was like, oh, well, Hawaii's final sale. And it's like, I'm not trying to return the bag. You know, I just wanted the repair fixed. She took it in, it was fine at the end of the day, because then again, my client advisor was able to work with the operations manager and they just took it in and they were like, okay, you can exchange it for a different bag. So where that video ended was which bag would I exchange my original book tote for? Now that specific store, they were very gracious at the end and they were allowing me to exchange it for any other style and I would just pay the difference. But I really had my heart set on the book tote and on that specific book tote style. So this is the larger one. The book tote that was at issue was the smaller, well, actually, it was small when I bought it, but then they came out with a smaller size. So then it's the medium, technically. I wanted the medium size book tote, and I love the toiletry design, but I didn't want that defect to happen again. So then I was like, okay, should I get the reverse toiletry, which is the, you know, like the negative image of the toiletry print, which is mostly navy blue, and then you know, white, but I didn't like it as much. I just felt like the detailing of the original color was so much nicer. So I just was thinking about it, and I finally made a choice and I exchanged it. And then I promptly pretty much almost forgot about it because I was so disheartened by the whole experience that I was like, I don't even want to deal with this. I just kind of let it sit there. And it did, and it sat there for a full year, over a full year. Because at that point I was like, this is so wild that this defect is happening. Let's just see like what happens if I leave it in the box. And so here's my receipt for the exchange. It retails for $33.50 and it still retails for $33.50. This was exchanged on March 29. Okay, it is now June. Early June, and here it is. So let's go ahead and do a live unboxing. Here's the beautiful box and gift wrap, and obviously you can probably guess what style it is based on the box because it's very thin. Oh my gosh, this is such a big box. Okay, there you go. Very nice. Here's packaging. I got the same exact book tote in the navy toiletry, and let's see how it looks. This, by the way, is how it comes packaged. It's very thin, so it's actually pretty good for travel. because it packs pretty thin. Okay, so it's still taped up. Again, I was so disappointed in the whole ordeal. It didn't really make me excited to unbox a new bag from Dior. And even though this is technically the same bag, it's just a replacement. At that point, I was like, you know what? I'm so annoyed by them trying to make it seem like it was my fault. I just want to see what happens. Like if I literally just leave it alone, because again, like when I first brought it in, first question she asked was, did you wear this in the summer? Even though this was a summer collection, as though I shouldn't be carrying it in the summer, like that had something to do with it. I don't live in a tropical climate. You know, I mean, that shouldn't factor into it. I don't store it in the sun. Out of curiosity, I was like, well, what happens if I just leave it? Let's see if it is the same thing. So, all right, so I removed the inserts and I'm gonna take a look in here. And I feel like they probably fixed the glue defect because it's become such a prevalent issue that, I mean, they had to have replaced it. I don't know if it's a matter of replacing the glue itself or changing the way they even manufacture the bags, because I mean these are supposed to be like hand embroidered, right? So okay, well, shockingly, pleasantly surprised to see that there is no staining. Okay, there's like one. Okay, that's just lint. Ooh, I thought it was going to be another Dior fail. All right, it's looking good. It's looking good. There was some staining along the seams here at the top, and this appears to be nice and new. And again, I don't know what the shelf life is. I don't know what the obsolescence is for the glue. From my experience and from similar people who own this, the oxidation came after about 2 years. That seemed to be like the sweet spot for it to start turning yellow. And I don't see it here, so that's probably a good sign. But here, I'll give you guys an up close look. I don't see it. Again, it was all along the bottom. It looks like they might have fixed it. All right, oh, I missed having this bag. I love this design. At the end, again, I didn't want it to deal with a stain, but I figured, okay, they're letting me exchange it. I have the new receipt. I have the new transaction in my purchase history. So if there was an issue with this, it would still kind of like restart to that time, you know, within the 2-year time frame, which we are still in. So fingers crossed we don't have the same glue oxidizing issue, because I really do love this original style and I didn't want to change it out just because I was afraid there would be another glue stain. Oh, and another issue I wanted to address was some people were inquiring whether the glue staining along the inside was caused by my bag organizer. This is the Samorga bag organizer. It's specifically designed for this book tote. I use Samorga bag organizers in almost all my bags. Again, each organizer is specifically designed and made for that specific style of bag. And I do that because I like for the bag to stay organized. I like that because the book tote is open on top. The organizer has a removable zipper, so you can keep it closed if you want. I also purposely get a lighter color organizer because I like to be able to see the inside of a bag. You know, with a lot of big bags like this, especially if it's a darker color, it's like a black hole when you throw your stuff inside. So I like for there to be a lighter color. Bottom line, no, it is not the organizer. There's absolutely no staining on the organizer. Maybe Dior can take notes, because whatever, if there is a glue that Samorga uses, although I don't think they use any glue, it's just stitching the felt. There's absolutely no staining. There was nothing spilled inside my bag organizer that then spilled and stained onto my book tote. Everything's clean on the inside and on the outside of the book tote organizer. I mean, it only could have come from that old book tote. So, okay, well, I'm happy. We have a happy resolution to that whole saga. Hopefully it doesn't do the same thing. I do plan on using this again. I've been without it for a year at this point, but everything looks good. I'm taking off the handle wrappers. And also a reminder to make sure you check the condition of every single expensive luxury item you get, just to make sure that it is perfect. And I don't mean perfect like every single thread is going to be completely intact and there's like no minor loose fraying, but I mean like major damage or stains, like very obvious stains. And all right, looks pretty good. All right, so they did pretty good. So at the end, Dior did a great job allowing me to replace my Defective book tote with any other style, and I personally opted to replace it, exchange it for the same exact style, same size, same color, and hopefully this doesn't oxidize. Hopefully they corrected their problem. There were some hiccups along the way because I was dealing with another customer service person. But again, if you have the same issue and you have the luxury of having a great client advisor, I recommend dealing with them first, having them deal with their operations manager and whatever. It seems like a better, more successful route than going through a brand new client advisor or dealing with the online customer service back and forth. I'm happy with my new non-defective book tote. But let me know if you had the same issue with your Dior book tote, if you had glue staining, what you opted to do and how they treated you. I hope you guys enjoyed this Dior book tote resolution. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.